Before today's video, just a quick shout out to all of my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for your support and love for the channel. Also, congratulations to Roy and Vincenzo, who were chosen by Bob to receive the GGGG for September of 2020. Roy was chosen to receive the Dungeons and Lasers core dungeon set, as well as the stretch goals from the first Kickstarter. And Vincenzo was chosen to receive Durkar the Dragon. This video is showcasing the GGGG for October of 2020, so if you want to get in on that, make sure to go to the Patreon page. But thank you so much for everyone who is already a supporter. Let's go ahead and dive into today's video. Gaming Geek here with an unboxing of the game The Few and Cursed. This was kickstarted last summer in 2019, and they fulfilled and shipped in September of 2020, which is only 2 months delayed, which I am impressed since all of the Kickstarters are delayed right now. Good on you, Rock Manor Games, for delivering on this game. And so let's go ahead and open it up. This was a fairly small Kickstarter. I think they raised $135,000 with a little over 2,300 backers. So I don't know how well known this Kickstarter was. And it was a relatively cheap pledge for both the expansion and the base game was $79. And then with shipping, I think I paid $90. So right off the bat, this is the expansion. And we'll take a closer look at that. And then with a ton of padding and foam peanuts, we have the base game. All right, here's the back of the box. And base box comes with 4 heroes and 4 monsters. And it's mostly a card game, I think. And this is based off of a comic book series, which I know that they kickstarted as well. Backers of the board game received the first comic book digital format, and I read through it, and it's a pretty cool universe where water is all of a sudden a scarce resource in the entire world, and so there's a Western theme, but also it's like Shadows of Brimstone, sort of gothic. There's some cool art, and the rule book has a lot of art from the comic books. And there are a couple of other good tutorials for how to play the game. So I'm not going to be going through the rules because I think those playthroughs and other tutorials are pretty good. So make sure you check those out. Links in the descriptions below to those. So you have the token sheet. That might be the money supply that's based off of water. And then this is a really big board. Yeah, I'll unfold it later. The box definitely will need an insert. I'll create an insert with my new laser. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out here. But we'll be creating an insert for this since the organization isn't that great in there. But like I said, a lot of cards. Let's take a look at these miniatures. So not too bad. Let's look at Red, the main character. Yeah, the detail on her is pretty good. I don't see obvious mold lines. And so I think she should be relatively easy to paint up. So the miniatures are actually better than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be more blobby, but there's some good distinct features on these. And so they should be relatively easy and simple to paint. You don't get a lot of miniatures in this game, but the miniatures that they do have, I do like. And I do like the backs of all of these cards. I think that they look pretty cool, like a deck of cards, but in the Western theme. So those are cool. And here are some tokens. Here are clips. Because if you don't paint your miniatures, you clip the bases, and that corresponds with these markers on your player dashboard. I wonder if these go onto here. Maybe these are artifact tokens, I'm not 100% sure. And then these are the player dashboards. And these are thick, high quality, so your player card goes onto here. And then these tracks keep track of, looks like your wounds, bullets, your ammo. I'm not sure what that is, maybe that's sanity. So if I remember the tutorial that I looked at, I think you're drawing and creating your deck. Again, the art on them are really cool because I think they are pulled directly from the comic book. Yeah, that looks really cool. Here's the expansion, and this is the primary reason why I got this game, is because this makes the 4-player game into a up to 6-player game. And it includes 2 more heroes and 1 more set of enemies. And so our gaming group is 6 people. So I think it's hard to find 6-player games, but this is why I back this game. And here are the player dashboards for the 2 other. Oh yeah, take a look at this. I can definitely consolidate all of the pieces into one box. Here's the upgraded first player token, which is cool. Upgraded tokens. And then additional cards. All right, so I'll go ahead and set this game up. I actually didn't realize that the board is double-sided. So this is the side that I always saw in their videos, but on the other side is a night version. So there's probably different dynamics that happens here. But we'll go ahead and set it up on the day side. So here's the setup of the board, and you definitely want to use the video to set up the board because the rules don't really help you out with which card decks go where. So go ahead, again, links in the descriptions below on where to set up these cards. But I'm going to go ahead and create a deluxe version of this as part of the giveaway. And so the first thing I'm going to do, as I always do with all my games, is I sleeve the cards. Especially with the deck builder, I feel like using sleeve cards makes it really easy to shuffle as well as preserve the cool artwork on your cards. So I'm just going to go ahead and sleeve everything, as well as even the mini cards here as well, since you are shuffling most of those too. And because I sleeve my cards, that's going to dictate the size of the inserts that I'm going to make. And that's why I need to sleeve all of them first, because then I measure how thick the decks are. Once I had all of the measurements for each of the card holders that I knew I needed, I went ahead and opened up Microsoft 3D Builder and configured the right size for all of the boxes and placed them in the overall box to see how it would fit the best. And once I figured out those dimensions, then I was able to take it over into a free program called Laser Cutter Box. Again, links in the descriptions below. And was able to input the dimensions of each of the individual boxes in order to create the cut files that are needed to create each shape. Now in Few and Cursed, I did want individual card boxes because I wanted to be able to pull them out and place them on the board rather than one big insert that held all of the pieces. And finally, I went into Lightburn and I was able to add some engraving as well as rearrange the pieces so that it maximized the cuts onto one piece of plywood. And then after that, I was able to just run the cutter and I put it together by super gluing the edges. So very quick. These files will be available on Thingiverse, so go ahead and check out the links below for that. All right, so here's the board with all of the inserts made. So all of the character cards are in here, and the encounter cards I actually do take out and place over there. Then the artifacts and bounties are all in here and have crossover cards. These were promos that go to some other games that I don't actually play, but just handy to keep them in there. All of the minis fit in here. And if you're going to paint them, make sure to protect them really well with a couple coats of varnish so that the paint doesn't rub off, but they all fit. And the upgrade deck, because this is the biggest deck in the game, I did create a discard side as well. So as you draw and as you're discarding, you can slip it in the back. That's one of the things that sometimes is missing from inserts is a discard pile. So this will just keep everything neat and handy, and you can just put it to the side of the board. And then the store items you can place just right here on the store spot and flip them over as you need. And again, I created discard, and that's true as well for all of the jobs. So the rest of the cards, like the bounty cards, are all placed on their slots here on the board as normal. And you don't necessarily need those 3 inserts over there, but definitely the upgrade card, the jobs, and the store. And then all of the water tokens fit in this caddy, and all of the other cubes and things like that fit in this caddy. And this is how easy it is to get everything in the box. And the expansion fits all in here as well, so you don't need to keep the expansion box. So there you have it, pretty quick video on how I'm using my laser to create inserts now for board games like this to be able to organize everything. Again, if you're not a patron yet, go ahead and check that out so that you get a chance of being chosen to receive the Few and Cursed. If it's past October of 2020, go ahead and check out my Patreon page to see what this month's GGGG is. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.